All right, Brad Weber, Sports Information Director here at Coffeyville, back with Raven Sports Drive. And joining me today, our Hall of Fame men's basketball coach, Jay Herkelman. Jay, welcome.
Thanks, Brad.
It's been a while since we talked. I know, end of last year, COVID, some of that type of stuff. I was just wanting to see maybe your thoughts on how the season ended last year.
Wow. It was, the way it ended was a thud.
Yeah.
Going from the exhilaration that we had of winning the region championship like we did, and then preparing for the national tournament. Our mindset was all about that. And then all of a sudden the COVID starts to hit, and there was just so much uncertainty at that time of what's going on. And I appreciated what the NJCAA did with moving the national tournament back. And just seeing, hey, let's see what happens with this. But then when we finally got the word that it was over, that was one of the toughest meetings that I had with my team.
That's tough, yeah.
Just getting them together, because we gave them the plan for the week of what we were going to do practice-wise and lifting. And then that afternoon we're having a meeting, and I'm telling them that it's over. And I mean, they're just looking at me like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, it's the school year, you're going home, practice, no national tournament. And I'm not kidding you, it was emotional for them, it was emotional for me. It was one of the most difficult meetings that I've had.
Those sophomores had to be crushed.
Oh, they were, because of where that team was from the beginning of the year, and we were struggling some, comparable to other seasons, and then to where we were at the end of the season, playing so well and winning, in the region tournament 3 straight days against Barton County, and then Cowley County, who was ranked 5th in the country, and then against Butler, the way that we won the game.
Yeah.
The guys were feeling like, hey, we can go beat anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was over. And I told them in that meeting, I said, this is the last time this team will be together. And they still stared at me,
and it's like, what
are you talking about? Because then it was just so new.
Yeah.
And now we understand it better. But it was a difficult meeting, and a difficult ending to what was hopefully going to be a great experience in the national tournament.
Well, going forward, obviously, we made it through summer. We were able to start, back on campus with school and stuff. Obviously, some of the basketball stuff's been pushed back a little bit farther, starting in the spring. But I know you guys have been able to have some scrimmages. NJCAA allowed some scrimmages and some practicing going on. How's the fall been going for you guys?
It's been really pretty normal for us until just this week, but we've gone through normal practices. We have had 3 scrimmages. The scrimmages have gone well. We've had a couple of them at home, and then 2 weekends ago we were over at Labette and had 2 games that day. And so things have been pretty normal until this week. We had a little bit of incident with some contact tracing, and so but that's the first time that's happened to us, and so up until now it's been pretty normal. So we'll see how we do, and this is our last week, so I don't know if it's fortunate that it just happened this last week, but we'll see how we kind of deal with it, and hopefully we don't have to deal with it much anymore. For some of our viewers who maybe not quite familiar yet with the team you have this year, some returning sophomores, new freshmen, kind of give us some insight. Yeah, we've got 4 good players from last year returning. Tyler Perry, who just kept getting better and better as the season went on last year at the point, and a guy that I thought was a guy that probably should have been the MVP of the region tournament. The way he played throughout the whole thing. He was really good. But Mikhail, Mikhail was the guy, and he made that last shot against Butler, which stuck in everybody's mind at the time. But we got Tyler back, and he's doing a great job. He's going to have a great year for us. Boston Holt, who was a part-time starter, probably started half the games last year, and only because Mikhail Murray was in that same spot.
Yeah.
But Boston is really playing well. Going to have a great year for us. Larry White, Mr. Energy guy. Everybody loves him. I do too. He drives me nuts sometimes, but I love his passion.
Yeah.
I love how hard he plays. Fans love him. Just he's just that guy that goes out there and gives it his all every time he's on the court. And then Jalen Smith. Jalen, just his experience is really helping him this year. He's going to give us a lot of quality minutes. He's improved in some areas that were a weakness for him, and he's going to be good for us. So got those four.
Yeah.
And the two guys that we brought in last January that practiced with us some, Markeith Browning and Kevon Ellis, they both are showing good signs, and they're going to play a lot for us. So excited about those guys. And then, the freshman class, a couple guys that have shown out a little bit. Blaze Keita. Blaze is 6'10", 11. He's been here all summer and working out. Going to be a really good player for us for the 2 years that he's going to be here. It gives us a guy with some size, mobility,
some inside presence,
real inside presence. Love Bettis from Pensacola, Florida. Has shown out well. He's really shoots it. Can play the point. Can play the two. Shoots it. I don't want to say on the same level as Tyler yet, but he's pretty close.
Working that way,
Yeah. And Noah Butler, who was at Sunrise with Blaze, Sunrise Prep over in Wichita. Noah's from up in Lawrence. And Noah's an athlete. I mean, he's big time athletic. And he'll play both a forward and a wing spot for us. So gives you an idea of some of the guys. We've got a couple forwards that are still to come in. That are some international forwards that give us a little bit more size. That just their embassies weren't open because of the COVID. One of them is a 6'8" forward, and the other one's 6'7" or so. We're excited to finally get those guys possibly in here in January. Well, I know they're going to be here in January. This team's got potential, a lot of potential.
Question just popped into my head too. I know we talked, mentioned those sophomores from last year. You might update some of those sophomores go out to a 4-year school.
Mikhail Murray, who ended up being All-American, he's at Central Michigan. And they tell me that he's really doing well. They said he's maybe their best scorer up there. They're really excited about him. Manny Crump, he's at Sam Houston State. And going to fit in well in that program. Tony Hudson had a lot of D1 schools on him, and then academically, when he went home, he just kind of didn't stay with it. He's at an NAIA school down in Alabama. I'm glad he is. That he's back in school, because he didn't even think he was going to continue on. But he's at Talladega down in Alabama. And then Kamani Dunham, he's at Savannah State.
So those guys, sounds like it's working out for most of those guys.
Moved on. And the two I stay in touch with quite a bit is Mikhail and Manny, and both are doing really well. Both excited about it.
Very good. That's good to hear. Going forward into the spring, obviously like I mentioned earlier, the NJCA's moved everything kind of back, 6 weeks or so. So that puts you guys starting about mid to late January, is that right?
January 20th, we can play our first game.
And then how's that, is it the same, even though it was pushed back, did they cut any games out? Is it the same, as far as conference schedule, the same amount of games, that type of thing?
We normally play 30 games on the year. This year we get 22. So we'll play our normal conference schedule, which is 20 games. So we get 2 non-conference games. So we'll play West Plains, Missouri on January 20th, and then we'll play Labette on that weekend. Then the following Wednesday, I believe it's the 27th, is when we start conference play. And that'll be with Hutch. So right away we
jump right into it.
Play right, and so then it's just conference games the rest of the way. And there's going to be some weeks, because we got to get all these games in, there's going to be some weeks where we're going to play, like Wednesday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
There'll be a couple times where we're doing that. So it was important this fall that we got a lot of our stuff in, because when that time comes, we're not going to have a lot of practice time. Even though our guys are going to go home for a pretty good break now, they're at least going to have some recognition when they get back of what we're doing, because practice time will be pretty limited once conference season starts.
Yeah. Okay. Does that, like the region championships, nationals, is that about the same time, or are they moving those back even a little bit because of the
they are
late starting?
Back.
Okay.
We play games all the way up until into March, regular season games.
Okay.
The national tournament was moved back 1 month. I think it's like April 19th is when the national tournament's going to start this year. And so we've got basically 2 months, a little bit more, but basically about 2 months to get 22 games in.
Okay.
So it'll be fast and furious, along with all the other sports that are going to be going
all at the same time. As a sports information guy, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be busy. I mean, kids won't be able to complain about there's nothing to do, because there's always going to be something going on.
We're going to have whatever going.
Volleyball, basketball, football and soccer getting started, baseball and softball going, and track. I mean, there's always something.
Every sport we have on campus will be going in one form or another. So,
but we're moved back, which is going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but not too much for us.
Okay.
So the big adjustment is going to be just the fact that we're going to be done November 15th, this coming Sunday, and our guys are going to be done for basically 7 weeks.
Yeah.
We get to start practice again January 4th.
Yeah. I have a couple of your guys in class, and I was kind of asking them, and they said, I said, well, you better make sure you do something over that time. I'm guessing you'll have some conditioning when you come back to get
that's going to be interesting
to get ready for. So, well, thanks, Coach, for stopping by.
Yeah,
we
did it.
We look forward to watching some Red Raven basketball in the spring.
Yeah, I think we're going to be good. I think we've had some fans come to the scrimmages, and it's going to be an exciting team. It's a fast team. It's an athletic team. We're deep. It's going to be a fun team to watch this year.
Very good. Catch you next time on Red Raven Drive.